Okay, so, hmm. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how many neglect cubes get removed when we add one here. So anytime we add a uh, a string of days, we'll call this a string. Every time we add a string, we are going to remove a neglect cube. Um, on these, there is no bonus to matching to going larger. So for these, the string size is this is 5, so you'll just put a 5 out and you'll remove a cube. Okay. So let's say these. Here's the string size is 2. So when we go string size 3, so let's say I use 2 to do it, right? Let's say I'm doing this action. It's a I have two string size to deal with it. It can be multiple strings, but 2. Once I go over that size, for going over that size, I'll lose an extra. All right, so let me just figure out how we're going to talk about that. Okay, so this is going to be boring for anybody watching. Okay, so let's say I want to do a water action. It wants a string size 1. Okay, so I do this, and that's going to be 1 cube, right? Um, the moment that I decide to use, maybe it's always 1. Every time I add one of these, it's always just 1, no bonuses. Let's try that first. Okay, so let's look at it like this. We're just going to play it where each one of these just removes a whatever size, doesn't matter. Every time I play one, it's going to remove one of these. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's start out with 6. These are the 6, right? And we'll just play it like that and let's see how it plays. We'll go with let's go ahead and set all this up and do it. And I'll look at the time after I have it set up. Interesting. Red. Okay, so as I'm setting up, I'm going to think about something out loud. This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. Like so. Okay. So we got that all set up. We'll go ahead and give this a persona, and then let's think about it. Okay. So by removing neglect, by going at this size, so the point would be is that if you do the action and you spend less than that, then you don't remove a neglect. How does that make sense? Because what I'm trying to say here is if you do too much work, you're stressed out. So let's say you do this under time. This should take 3, and you do the small one, you do this one at 1. Then it doesn't remove neglect. Okay. Okay, so anytime you're doing, you pick an action. Boom, this is the action I'm doing for the round. You can spend cubes and not do actions. I got to figure that out. That's a whole nother thing too. How do you spend cube? Um, all right. So let's think about it. The thing is that if you do too much work, if you do it under time, you get stressed. And if you get stressed, you don't remove cubes. So what we're going to say is, so one of the things we can do is remove or add time. We could just add time, right? I don't know what that means. You can spend 1 to trash a card. Oh yeah, the gray ones are ×2 when they come on there. You can spend 1. You can spend a cube to get an extra check. When you spend a cube to get an extra check, no neglect. For that extra cube, right? So you can't, well, how does that work? Okay, so let's say I am going to get an agave. It's a one-time thing, and it takes 2 time. I spend the appropriate things, so I remove the cube. If I do it shorter than that time, I would not remove any cubes. Um, let's say I want to pad my time, or I want to do extra work for that thing. So I do extra work. Yeah, extra work doesn't take off cubes. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I think I got it. So here, when we add the extra stuff, it doesn't take off cubes. This is a minimum amount. So whenever you do stuff that goes below that, it doesn't remove it. And if you're doing stuff above that for, let's say, like this one takes, four freaking things, right? So by doing that one thing and taking four, do you remove one for every fudge? This is difficult. How do we remove neglect? So I want to do this. If I do that and I do it here, that takes 4 cubes to do it. It's going to take a shit ton. Like, it might take a whole month to get that set up. It would be unfair if that didn't take off 1 per cube. But every maybe that's the maximum amount of cubes that'll be removed. No, that's not right. Fudge, I just don't know. Because this on this end, normally, I would do that and then do the other stuff and then have enough to do 4 to do this thing, right? That 4 would remove 1 per, whatchamacallit. This goes back to, but let's say I want to pad my time. I want to take a little bit longer to do stuff. That's freaking too much. Let's see. Because the weekends are the problem here. By working on the weekend, you neglect your family, so you get black cubes. If you take longer, so maybe by going this way, you add. By going this way, you remove neglect cubes, right? It makes you unhappy because you're going longer. It adds an unhappy, but it removes a neglect. Yeah, works. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I'm glad I got that figured out. Okay, so let's go back to here. I might be screwing this whole fucking thing up. And then I'll go back and think about it. Excuse me, I'm going to have to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Let's go here. Let's get this stuff here. Do that. Let me get one of these. Go here. Let's go unlock or ungroup. Grab this. Let's see what would be. Let's see if it's here, right? We could probably go that big. It's not crazy. Okay. So that's it. So that's there. And there. Okay, that's not too bad. We can make this bigger. Don't want to go too much bigger though. So let's see if we went like that. And then what if put this there? So let's say that one's there. Get rid of this one. Like that. I don't like this being so far on there, so let's work on it some more. That, group it. Let's try that. Get rid of that one. Fix those in a minute. Go ahead and put this also in storage. Let's go ahead and move all the storage a little bit over. So we have room. Okay, then that. Okay, and then this one's just minus a sad face. Okay, so how does that work in combination with these? So let's say I do this one, boom. I go ahead and go move forward 2 and then back 2. So we kind of need a box or an area for ones that have moved forward. So what if there's an area, if it moves forward, it can't go back. So you can't just like move one forward, then you put it in a thing and you say, okay, so it moved forward. So you have to set it somewhere. Like it can't go boom forward, then back. Because you kind of want to say, If it goes in motion, it has to stay in that direction. So let's say you have a cube and you go boom, trigger this, and then you do that, and then it goes over. So I go boom, boom, move one over these three, and then move it back for the sad faces and minus the neglect. Yeah, it's just how it works. It's very mechanical. Maybe it will have to be different later. Maybe it needs to, cubes need to stay in the directions they're going. Maybe they'll need a direction. Maybe the cubes will turn into arrows and they'll go only in one direction. We'll see. But that's where we're at now. Okay, so I like that. I do like it. I could be wrong for it though. Okay, so let's go ahead and take it back to here. And we'll add this thing in it. Which is this one. Okay, it's updated. Cool. Let's go ahead and save it. It's here. Overwrite. Okay, so let's think about it. Okay, so I am doing this, and I do. Basically, I'm going to always borrow unhappy. So let's say I do this cube here, and I do it, boom, for, I do it for 5, so that's 1, right? I do that, and then I do another one of these to here. Okay, then what I decide to do is spin this to get extra check marks up there. So I spin it to get extra check marks. Yet I want to remove cubes, so I remove 2 cubes, and then I get 2 unhappies. It's not too bad. Maybe that's it. And I'll figure this out in a moment. How much those need to be to give you just to do them. All right, so let's go ahead. What are we at? 23. I assume that these should just remove 2 cubes. This one is the hardest to do. Gives you the most points, and it's definitely the one worth doing it, but it's just hard to do the first time. So yeah, let's do this one. Gives you, they all give you the same. Let's just try that. That's what we're going to do with the remainder of the time, and then we'll stop it, and then we'll do a part 3. So here. All right, so we're just going to do these. Let's delete these. Okay, cool. You know what? That's too much. We're going to take all these off. We'll just move it. Okay, cool. Oops. Let's go ahead and go. Let's go. Come on. Let's save all this shit here. One. Call it two. Call it three. Oops. Four. Five. And the last one would be six. Okay, done. Okay, so here, let's go. These all need the same back, which is purple. Let's blue this one. It goes here. It is this one. Import. Oh, okay, cool. Then we'll do this one. And we'll do this one. Cool. So when you do it, just set it aside. Just put it, just do it, and then like just, yeah. All right, the purple one. Oh, not like that. Let's try it again. The other side. Sweet. Light purple. Sweet. Done. Let's do these. All one here. Okay. And then this one. Sweet. We got it all done. Just in time. Go here. Overwrite this sucker. And we'll go ahead and stop and then get ready to start it again. All right, so let's go ahead and stop it. How do you turn this damn thing off?
Started and with you.